Welcome to the All Financial Hour podcast with Steve All.
You know, it's estimated that 1 in 10 people getting divorced today is 65 years or older. Well, the costs are steep here. A recent study found that says a man can expect his standard of living to decline by 21% after what they call a gray divorce. A woman's standard of living will plunge to 45%. Both will see wealth decline by half. So when clients come in saying they plan to divorce, Steve, oh my gosh, are these some of the common issues that you're helping with?
It is a little bit more common than it was in the past, of people coming in now. And, that's like I said, when people are younger, kids don't make good glue, and some marriages will end, is about the easiest way to put it. And I think it's a very difficult situation to go through. Sally had come in. Divorced situation. She wasn't looking for it, didn't plan on it or anything like that. She came in and said, my husband says he's got a different woman and he wants a divorce. Ugh. And she was devastated. She wasn't expecting it and nothing was coming along that way. So I would say in that situation, it was more of what I would call just like a handheld holding and being with her. Because we had to go through those parts of the divorce that she's going, I don't know this. When you start dividing up the assets, he wanted to include her inherited IRA in the division of assets. And I said, that's your asset. That's not something that goes from there. And then they also look at it to the fact of he wanted her to take the IRA assets and him to take the non-IRA assets. And I said, we got to be careful with that one because that value in that IRA account doesn't have taxes taken out of it. So like I said, I think for probably the first 6 to 8 months while they were going through the process to try to figure out what they were doing, it was more hand-holding and explaining. Then once the divorce became final, and then we started to look at what was the best way for her for assets. Luckily, she was already working, had a good income, so she did not have to go back to work type of a mentality. And it came from there. But I think that when we start to look at these things, it's more of an emotional deal at the time. And the biggest thing that I've seen that does cause problems is when we make our investment or planning decisions in an emotional time. Because we might look back at it a few years later and say, wow, I probably could have done that differently. Mm-hmm. And that's where I believe that having somebody on the professional to walk you through those difficult times, I believe is very, very, very important. So if you are looking at this, it is more than just the division of assets. If there are still children involved, who gets the kids and all that stuff, there's a lot more to it. Give us a call now. Allow us to assist you, one, to walk through what can be a very difficult situation, and how do we continue to have that plan for our own retirement as we move forward after the divorce is final. Give us a call. Allow myself and my team to assist you.
Steve, you've been seeing this for the nearly 40 years that you've been in business, right? We spend decades saving for retirement. It's a really kind of stressful thing. It's really personal. And then when it finally comes time to take that step, many are still caught off guard by various things. And I was hoping that you could address some of these and talk about some of the strategies that you use to help, those retire with confidence.
Well, I think you put it fantastically. Most of us spend 40 plus years accumulating assets. The biggest thing that I have when clients come in and you say, what would you have done differently? The main answer is, I wish I would have started saving earlier, because of that compound interest and the growth over time of the money that I put in a long time ago. And a lot of people have done a fantastic job of accumulating assets. And they look at it and go, okay, now what do I do? Because what I call decumulation, or the spending side of retirement, because there's two different parts. I spend my whole life accumulating. Now I'm going to spend the rest of my life spending it down. How can I spend it down? And most people have the exact same questions. 1, when can I retire? 2, will I run out of money? And I think that's the important thing that we have to look at in the retirement years. Will I run out of money? And I think the most important thing that has to be looked at then is most of us have not lived on a stricter budget for a very long time. We might have to look at that budget. And I'd say the biggest two things that you need to look at within your expenses are what are needs and what are wants. You know, I need a house to live in. I need food. I need clothing. I need, those things. Those are needs. But see, a lot of the assets can be spent on wants. And do I have to have those things? Most of us look at it to the point where there's no sense in retiring if I can't do the things I want to do. So we have to look at them in those plans. You know, Jim and Peggy came into the office. They had that deal. Jim wanted to retire. And he said, can I retire now? So we ran the analysis for Jim and Peggy, comprehensive retirement plan, put the whole thing together. And I sat down with them, coming back, and I said, Jim, my biggest concern is that you might have a problem in your late 80s. Markets don't go fantastically. If we have some downturns early, you might have a problem. And I really don't want you coming back to me when we're 80 years old saying,
help
I thought
me now.
You said it was going to be okay, because I can't change anything then. I'd rather tell you what I think right now, that I think that's important. You know, and he thanked me for doing that, you know, to tell him what he needed to hear, not what he wanted to hear. So if you're in that situation where you're sitting there going, when can I retire? Will I run out of money? Give us a call now. Ask for the comprehensive retirement plan. We'll run you through the things that are necessary for that, because a lot of people miss out on some of the things. One, income generation. How am I going to replace my paycheck? Two, Social Security optimization. When should I take Social Security? It is important. It's a large part of most people's income in retirement. So we don't want to take that decision and make it very simple. We also want to look at legacy and estate planning. You know, what am I going to pass things on? If I am, how can I do it as efficient as possible? And then the thing I think a lot of people forget about is taxes, because we were told that we were going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement.
Yes, we were.
So we get that question, are we? A lot of the people that I know today, they were in that 20 to 25%, 28% tax bracket, that they're still in that 20 to 28% tax bracket in retirement. And when I ask people today, do you think taxes are going to be higher in the future? What do they all say?
Of course, yes.
Yes, they've got to be. They've got to be. So I think by reducing or eliminating taxes is the best thing that you can do for your retirement plan. So I'm going to sit here and say there's a lot of things that just came out of this one. One, if you have more than $500,000 in invested assets, call and ask for the tax plans. I used the $500,000 because of the fact those were the tax strategies work out better. If you're just trying to figure out, can I retire and will I run out of money? Call, ask for that comprehensive retirement plan, because I think those are the things that people need so that they can make informed decisions about their own retirement.
Thanks for listening to the All Financial Hour podcast.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG. All Financial Group, LLC is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not subject to investment advisor requirements. IPW and All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. All Financial Group, LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by All Financial Group, LLC.